Hello guys, my name is Rino. Today I will tell you guys about the different culture from Indonesia and American. Every country usually that has its own different culture and custom, including when educating children. This of course will different the mindset and development of children in each country. It is the same with Indonesia and America, where each of the teenagers there have different social styles from childhood to adulthood. If you are curious about the difference in social styles between Indonesian and American teenagers, I will explain this difference. So the difference Indonesia culture with American culture. Culture is closely related to society. Culture contains the whole understanding of social value, social norms, science, and the whole of social, religious, and other structures in addition to all the intellectual and artistic statements that characterize a society. Culture is something that will affect the level of knowledge and include the system of idea or idea contained in the human mind, so that in everyday life the culture is abstract. Each country must have a culture that is different from each other. An example is the difference between Eastern and Western culture. So Western culture is a culture that guides its consequence by the understanding science and philosophy. They perform various ways of discussion and debate to discover or determine what kind of meaning is purely or genuine from consequence. They learn a lot and also teach the initially comes from the process of discussion and debate that they do. Through the process of learning and teaching, Western culture expect the require to, to be clever in lecturing and discussing. This is done because in the end will be many who followed his teaching. So next, Eastern culture. So Eastern culture is a culture that guides its over arrange by performing various kind of physical and mental training. So physical training can be exemplified by maintaining a diet and drink or any food that can be eaten and any drink that may be in drinking because it can be affect growth and physical. As for mental training that can be in the form or activity that generally are theirs. So and here are some of the different points expressed about the culture between East and West. And I will take the example of the difference between Indonesian and American cultures. So first about the opinion. So from Indonesian tend to be convolute in arguing where the meaning is not as complicated as the argument. Uh, America is more to the to the point in arguing. So next, time about time. Indonesian is famous for its rubber clock and lack of respect for time. As for America, they tend to be on time. So next about the lifestyles. Indonesians will be more comfortable if they stay close to family, especially relatives, unlike Americans. They tend to be individualists. So next about the relationship. Very socialized or establish a more complex relationship. The social media become an application that is often used a tool for socializing. In contrast to their Westerns, more individualistic or very rare relationship with others. So next about the celebration of or party. If there are celebrations or parties, many Indonesians prefer to invite all their relatives and friends. For example, in wedding, making a lot of invitation is a waste. In America, if they make an event, only relatives, family, and some close friends are invited. Next, about the something new. In Indonesia, if there is a new item, for example, gadget, because Indonesian people tend to consume thief, then they will buy the goods to meet the curiosity. Unlike Americans, if there is something new, do not necessarily want to know and want to earn or use it, just to know. So next, I will tell you guys about the trendy, yes, trendy. If Westerners are more comfortable with something traditional and natural, in contrast, the Indonesian Indonesian people have not been called it trendy, if not stylish to the West. For example, more prestige when eating at a fast food place. West, where is in the original country, the food is practically ordinary food only, ordinary food only. So next about the transportation. Formerly America dominantly using cars. Now more dominant use of bicycles because of the importance of health. Different from the Eastern people. If used predominantly by bicycle, now have to use the car if able to use the surface of a personal driver. In a place to eat, at the dining venue, Americans tend to be orderly when eating. Indonesians sometimes tend to eat by chatting until it is quite noisy and a waste of time. Waste of time. So other things such as food culture, if the West has three sessions when eating the appetizer, main course, dessert. Indonesia, the third is the main food. And also diverse tradition in Indonesia, such as 7 monthly event in Indonesia, while in America is a baby shower. The difference is when in Indonesia, they make the event is the prospective mother, while in America, who make the event is a close friend relative of the prospective mother. But it depends on the character of each being human. As citizen of Indonesia, we must develop things from our culture to be positive and can help country because developed countries like America. Okay guys, that's all Thanks for your attention, and hope to see you again in the next video. Okay, see you guys.